CES 2023 just happened last week in Las Vegas, and I am truly excited about the OLED TV announcements from both Samsung Display and LG Display. It's becoming a battle between those two companies for King of OLED. Now, a lot of you know that I purchased this TV, the 2021 LG C1, it's a 77-inch, about 13 months ago. It was during the Black Friday sales in 2021. And when I purchased it, I did a video and people were like, hey, why didn't you wait for QD-OLED? There's rumors that QD-OLED is going to launch in 2022. And my response was, I hear the rumors, but the rumors also say that, they're going to launch with a 55-inch and a 65-inch, and I want something bigger. Well, the good news is the rumors were true. In 2022, Samsung Display did launch a 55 and 65-inch QD-OLED, or Quantum.OLED. So it brought competition to LG Display in their WRGB OLED. Now, the main differences between these two OLEDs is Samsung Quantum Dot has RGB, red, green, and blue subpixels made out of quantum dot material, whereas LG Display has WRGB, which is a white, red, green, and blue subpixel, and they use the white as sort of a brightness booster. Now, what Samsung will tell you is they will say that that white subpixels kind of washes out the color, whereas their particular panel technology is true RGB, so you get more volumetric color, which I think is a good thing, right? And people have reviewed the QD-OLEDs last year, they compared them, and quite frankly, I have to say that most reviewers consider the Sony A95K, which was a QD-OLED panel from Samsung Display, to be the best TV of 2022. Value Electronics, Robert Zahn over at Value Electronics, he did his TV shootout that he normally does every year, and the Sony A95K won that. Vincent Teo over HDTV Test also did a TV shootout last year in the UK, and the Sony A95K won, with the Panasonic LZ2000 being second place, I believe, in that particular shootout. So a lot of people have seen these TVs, and QD-OLED pretty much kind of took the cake last year. Well, LG Display decided not to rest on their laurels, and they came back this year with some new technology, but Samsung Display also did not rest on their laurels. They came back with some new stuff this year as well. And I want to start with Samsung Display, because one of the first things I noticed that they did this year was they have a 77-inch QD-OLED available, which I think is kind of becoming more of the mainstream size. And I want to talk in a few minutes about why I like this TV and some things that I wish were a little bit better. But they announced a 77-inch version, but they also announced a 34 and 49-inch smaller screen sizes for the gaming market. So they're expanding out the market, helping put pressure on LG Display with their already expanded market, which I think is good. But they've also said that their new QD-OLED panels are 2 times as durable. They're also more power efficient, so they're more eco-friendly, and they have greater brightness. They're claiming over 2,000 nits at the TV's native white point. Now, Vincent Teo over at HDTV Test got a chance to look at and calibrate a pre-production sample, and he found at D65 white point, which is the white point that we use for movies and calibration and stuff like that, it's outputting about 1,300 nits, which is more than the 2022 QD-OLED. So they have definitely boosted the brightness with the latest QD-OLEDs, which is definitely a plus. But like I said, LG Display is not resting on its laurels either. Again, they have come out with a new technology for their particular panels. And this technology, I think they're calling it their meta technology, but it is a micro lens array. And what they're doing is they're putting an additional layer of lens on top of their pixels, and that's allowing the light that normally gets reflected back into the TV to be shot out from the TV. So they're giving us a brightness boost along with some algorithms, and I think a few of the panels like the G3 this year will actually have a heat sink on the back as well to give us the brightest OLED panels that they have ever shipped. Again, Vincent Teo got a chance to see the Panasonic MZ2000, a pre-production model, and he measured that at its native white point, and it was over 2000 nits. But again, once he calibrated down to D65 white point on a 10% window, it was like 1500 nits or something like that. So it was very, very bright, much brighter than, you know, the year before with the LZ2000 from Panasonic. So again, both of these companies are in a battle, and that makes me so excited for OLED technology for the next several years, because we're getting more screen sizes and brightness out of the QD-OLED, and we've already got the screen sizes, and we'll probably get a few more maybe from LG Display, but they are pushing brightness. Now, what I'm hoping for next year is, I'm hoping at least, maybe not next year, but I'm hoping that LG Display is working on, you know, maybe getting a bit more vibrancy out of their colors as well, getting more volumetric colors out of that RGB subpixel. How do they do it? I don't know, but I am hoping that they do that. But I am happy because there is competition. Now, let's talk about my television, the 77-inch C1 that I have right here. I've been watching movies, you know, television, just enjoying my time with this television. I still like WebOS. It's been nice, fast, and fluid. And honestly, it's just been a great TV, and I have enjoyed it. Now, I will say I have not had it calibrated yet. That's one thing that is on the list, but I pretty much watch it in filmmaker mode pretty much all the time, but I do need to get it calibrated. So I do want to say that that's just a little admission on my part. I haven't done that. But when I first purchased this TV, I was happy about the 77-inch, and I thought a little bit about the 83-inch, but honestly, it was a little bit more than I wanted to pay. Now, once I got in the room, I was like, this thing is mammoth, you know, but like now that I've gotten accustomed to it, I'm like, man, part of me wishes I had purchased the 83-inch. But at the same time, I'm kind of happy that I didn't, because when I was purchasing this, I was looking at the TV and the stand that I was going to get, but at the time I wasn't planning to upgrade my speakers. But since then, I have upgraded my speakers to the Arendal Sound 1723S. And this is the center S, but I also have the monitor S over here and on the other side of the television. And I like these speakers because they are basically the same speaker. One is just vertical and the other is horizontal. So I get a nice seamless presentation across the front soundstage because it's the same cabinet volume, all of that, right? So it just sounds great. But it's actually taller than my previous center, which was the Klipsch RP440C. It's taller by like 4 inches or something like that. So what that meant was I had to get a stand for my television. And so right now it's sitting on a stand, and this is a stand that I got off Amazon. I'll put a link in the description below. But this stand is for an 86-inch television, and it allows you to raise the TV up. And this is the highest the TV can be on this particular stand. And as you can see right here, there's not a whole lot of gap between the speaker and this television. So if I had an 83-inch, it might be a little bit too big to actually get the TV or get the speaker to fit under it. So it kind of worked out, right? So that's just my little story about that. But I have enjoyed my time with it. The only thing that I've kind of seen as a downside, and I guess it's two things, is now that I have a bigger TV in here, and this is the biggest TV I've ever purchased, before this I had a 55-inch, the main thing that I've noticed is just the fact that the center of the screen is a little bit higher compared to where, you know, the center screen was for my 55-inch. So when I have voices coming out of the center channel here, I can kind of tell that they're not at the center of the screen. And that's also due to, you know, me sitting a little bit closer and stuff like that. So that is one of the downsides of going with a bigger screen than what I've had before, is that I just lose the illusion there of having the voices coming out of the center of the screen. Now, one of the benefits of the Sony A95K is they have their acoustic surface technology built in. So the screen itself actually vibrates, and it gives you that nice illusion of the characters actually speaking from the screen, because you're hearing the sound directly from the screen. And that is really cool. And I wish I had that technology. But I guess I say that's cool, but I am a little bit concerned that maybe tonally it wouldn't match your front soundstage as much, but I haven't done any testing, so I digress on that. But that is one thing that I kind of wish this TV had. So that's one downside. Another thing is how it handles motion. I'm coming from a plasma television, which has like a 600 hertz response time or something like that. So motion can look nice and fluid, and, you know, you have to deal with trails and stuff like that. Whereas with the an LCD TV, it handles motion just a little bit different. This is a 120 hertz panel or whatever. Maybe it's 240, I can't remember. But it does handle motion a little bit differently. So when I'm watching sports, like, you know, I guess the World Cup just happened and stuff like that, it's just a little bit different from my plasma. I think the plasma just does a better job with sports content. But overall, I like this television. I enjoy watching movies. I love the dynamic range, and it's just been overall a great television. Now, you know, do I really want to get rid of this and now get one of the new TVs? Honestly, no. I really like this television. The new TVs are definitely better, but I'm not really ready to just get rid of this and be like, oh, this TV is trash, I'm gonna get another TV, because I'm just not balling like that to just be buying TVs like that all the time. But I am looking forward to getting another TV, and maybe in a few years or something like that, when the TV technology is even more mature. You're getting more brightness, more color, more whatever they're gonna do in another couple years, and then I will upgrade this TV and get something else, and it'll be an even bigger jump. So I am happy about my TV. I think this is a great purchase. I'm happy I purchased it when I did. Do I wish I would have waited? Not really. Because again, I'm getting use out of this TV now versus waiting for the TVs to be released, because the new TVs, they've been announced but not released. So I'd be waiting until like November or something to get the same deal. So I would have had 2 years of use from this TV and got my setup and everything. So I'm actually really happy with everything that I have here. So I'm really thankful about that. But that's what I wanted to talk about. I want to talk about my TV and how, I like it, but also the TVs from CES. I'm really excited about Samsung and LG display and how they have this battle going on with OLED technology, and hopefully it's going to get better and better and better. And also micro LED is, coming a long way as well. So hopefully that'll eventually come out to reasonable prices and reasonable screen sizes and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot there, but hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely give us a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so we can be, so you can be rather alerted when I upload new content. Thank you for watching. Happy New Year, and we'll talk to you next time.